Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another manga I have recently read through. And as you can see, there's about roughly 27 volumes of manga here which I have read through. And yes, it has been a busy time getting through all of these. Moving with one of the things that I ended up finishing off first, which was Demon Slayer. And I must admit, I'm pretty impressed with the story. I actually liked how they fixed up the end of the story too. Even though there was a little bit of somewhat outrage against it, as for some people it made it a little bit hard to understand how the ending was meant to be. Then we've got Black Clover. I have really been enjoying this way more than the actual anime itself, even though I still want to get around to checking out the anime. And last but not least, something to which I have finally begun the anime of, and it's really even better to actually catch up with reading the manga, and that is of Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen. So, first things first, we've got Demon Slayer volumes 15 all the way to 23 here. Gosh, what can I say about Demon Slayer? Before I give it its rating, what about my review? Well, moving into this review, this still follows the story of Tanjiro, as well as his sister Nezuko. But in these last couple of chapters, yes, even though it still deals with the character of Tanjiro, we get to experience some more experience around the members of the Demon Slayer Corps. Even though I don't remember them all by name, I do remember like some of their techniques. One character here, as you can see, actually uses chains, and his chain move is called it's like a moon technique. And we move into some of the other characters, and of course in the last couple of volumes it deals with the fight against the big bad Muzan, to which all the Demon Slayer Corps go up against him, including Nezuko as well. Something you don't quite expect, because Nezuko also gets targeted because she's the one who survived the process, who once became somewhat demonized through Muzan's blood, but also recovered, and he basically tries to target Nezuko because where she was once weak, now she's become strong, and he, in a way, attempts to try to get her to become his vessel. But because of the hard work of the Demon Slayer Corps, as well as Tanjiro, that doesn't end up occurring. So overall, I'm going to give all of these volumes a 7.5 out of 10, and that includes for the art as well as the story. Moving into the next one, Black Clover. Oh my goodness, this was really nice. In Black Clover, yes, there was a sort of a fight continuing over from volume 20 into the previous, and eventually in one of these volumes we do get the return of Julius, and it was really nice to see him return. But when Julius returns, he's not the big old age that you normally see him in the beginning of the series. In fact, he's a little bit younger. So a big, huge surprise, especially for the reader, unless you've been following what some people have been saying about it and covering it on YouTube. Personally, I enjoy reading it in the physical, exactly like this, than having to go to the digital all the time. It's a little bit more fulfilling. It's so much worth it, and I really enjoyed it for what it was. Of course, things starting to move into a bit of hardship because of the Spade Kingdom starting to get involved, and we start to see the story around Asta to Yuno and what is happening there, to even actually learning that Yuno is actually a prince. And that's pretty much where that is left off in the story. So time to move on to the next one, Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen. Now, I've heard some people say you could start Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen at Volume 1 and go onwards, even though it was the first one that came out. I decided to read this directly from Volume 0 up to Volume 10, which has been completed so far. I must admit, I did actually enjoy reading Volume 0 first before reading Volume 1, because it gives you a bit of an outlook in regards to how the Jiu-Jitsu high school actually works. Like, this is before even Yuji Itadori comes into the picture. And the person that you see on the cover is called Yuta. And you learn that he has a connection to a cursed spirit, to someone who basically loved him so much that they ended up turning into a cursed spirit that attached to him. I'm not going to give away any more than that, because I understand that the movie is going to be coming out at the end of the year. But I definitely recommend that you do pick it up, especially if you want to know what's going to be happening in the movie. Moving into Volume 1, from there we do actually begin the journey around Yuji Itadori and how he came to enter the Jiu-Jitsu high school in Jiu-Jitsu Kaizen. And in it you get to follow pretty much some of the first year students, such as Megumi, of course Gojo, who's not one of the students but one of the teachers. We've got Kanami, who's also one of the mentors. And eventually you do learn a bit about how everything is run at the high school, and also some of the missions that they go on to. So for all of these volumes, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Not an 8.5, but an 8 out of 10. I've enjoyed the story so far. I totally enjoy the artwork. And I'm looking forward to where this story is going to go. I heard that this might be finishing off quite early too. I'm not too sure how accurate that information is. But what I've read of this series, I actually enjoy. So until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.